It's that time again. The ghosts and goblins come out tomorrow night. Hello again on another Wednesday evening for yet another fact-filled edition of EastCast, giving you all the news that matters about Cherry Hill High School East. On this Halloween Eve, October 30th, 1991, I'm Jeff Pollock with Adam Litwin and sports anchor Mike Furman. Last week was Drug-Free Week at East, warning students of the dangers of drug and alcohol abuse. Students were given red ribbons to wear to show their support in the fight against drugs. The highlight of the week was an educational and entertaining Drug Alliance psychodrama. Students were excused from either periods 1, 2, 7, or 8 on Thursday or Friday to witness the event. Several actors and actresses cleverly acted out a typical teenage problem, peer pressure and the problem of trying to be popular. At the critical moment in the play, when the distressed girl was about to organize a party with drugs and alcohol that she did not want, the drama was stopped and a discussion was held. The classes got into heated debates about who was right and wrong and whether this party should be held. Through this debate, the point effectively got across that drug and alcohol abuse cannot be tolerated, and one should think for oneself. The ending of the drama, whether or not the party was held, was left to the imagination of the students. Obviously, the discussion showed students the way in which the play should have ended. Thanks again to the Student Government Association for another fine job. Cherry Hill East's Young Woman of the Year pageant also took place last week. Congratulations to the winner, Cindy Kam, and to the runner-up, Grace Shee. The other finalists for Young Woman of the Year, formerly the Junior Miss pageant, were Pauline Chow, Rita Lowe, Monica Majumdar, Shira Taylor, and Peggy Yu. Somye Bhatnagar spoke with Cindy and Grace about the pageant.
Congratulations to Cindy Kam and to Grace Shee. Grace, it was more than a beauty contest, so what was involved in this?
Well, there's many steps involved. The first step was an application which each person that wanted to be involved in the Young Woman of the Year had to fill out, and the application looked at what you've done in school and your transcript. The second part was an interview where you had the judges. Then they would ask you questions just to see who you are and what you did. And after that, there was another cutoff, and we were left with 7 people. And these 7 people went on. It was October 15th, and we had like a little mini talent show where we did. First was their presence and composure. When they asked you a question, our question was about our family. We talked about that. The second part was talent, which we had to perform for 1.5 minutes. And then the third part was a fitness routine we had to do.
And Cindy, what was your talent in this?
On the piano, I performed the finale to Beethoven's Sonata Pathétique.
Well, now that you're Young Woman of the Year, what other contests do you look forward to?
Well, on November 30th is the county competition. Before that, I have two rehearsals and a dress rehearsal to attend, where I will get together with the 21 other girls who are involved in the program from the different schools. Camden County is divided into 2 sections, Southeast and Northwest, and at the competition that night, they will choose 2 winners, 2 first place, 2 second place, 2 third place, and 2 scholastic awards.
Are there any events that lead up to this competition?
The night before the competition, there is interviews with the judges, 10-minute interviews for each girl. And the next day, on the Saturday morning, there's a parade in Collingswood from about 9 to 11.
Well, we're real proud that you're representing East, and we all look forward to come out and support you on November 30th at Haddon Township at 7:30.
Thank you.
This is Ms. Ame Butnagar for EastCast.
The freshman election process culminated last Thursday. Running for the office of president were Chantry Baker, Jessica Gross, Jessica Kozlov, Gary Ross, and Serene Sangarai. Running for the office of vice president were Marcia Boehm, Alana Marr, Gina Mondell, Dan Perkins, and Rachel Umansky. The candidates for the office of secretary-treasurer were Charles Davis, Kate Lowenhar, Dana Petrone, and Rachel Tarshis. And finally, running for the office of publicity manager were Sid Greenfog, Robin Hasler, Alyssa Heitzer, Jen Milbauer, and Allison Natal. All of the candidates should be commended on the amount of effort that they put in during the month of October. Now, the president of the class of 95 is Gary Ross, the vice president is Dan Perkins, the secretary-treasurer is Dana Petrone, and the publicity manager is Sid Greenfog. Congratulations to the newly elected freshman class officers. For those that won, the work they've already accomplished is nothing like the work that is to come during the year. The first of East's semi-yearly TGIF nights took place Friday night. There was a movie, board games, basketball, volleyball, and 2 student bands, Legion and Silhouette. This year, there was a special added treat. A professional DJ company, Laserspin, donated their time for the event. The Home and School Association, who sponsored the event, wishes to thank everybody that helped to make TGIF Night a true success. The next and last TGIF Night is slated for February 7th. The Home and School Association is currently in the process of evaluating last Friday's TGIF as to make improvements for the next.
Both students and teachers alike were happy last Monday, the 21st, when students got the chance to sleep and enjoy an extra day off while teachers attended classes. It was the first of 3 teacher in-service days in which teachers discuss and learn new methods of educating their students. Some teachers were taught in computer use, while others learned new discipline and motivation techniques. Departments also had faculty meetings in which the current curriculum was discussed and ways to improve the courses were suggested. The next Teacher in Service Day will be a half day on February 4th, and the final one of the year will be a full day off on March 13th. Besides in-service days, individual departments also have workshops with departments from other districts throughout the year. Last Thursday, the 24th, members of the math department attended a workshop. At this workshop, new calculators were ordered that will aid in the teaching of various math courses at East. Some teachers were attending ITIP, Instructional Theory into Practice workshops last week. And finally, all teachers will attend the annual New Jersey Teachers Convention in Atlantic City. That will result in 2 days off on November 7th and 8th. So the teachers are doing a lot of learning themselves early in this school year. Cherry Hill emphasizes staff development. The East chapter of Students Against Drunk Driving, SAD, is scheduled to hold its first meeting next month. The fine organization committed to fighting the fatal problem of driving under the influence of alcohol chose its executive committee last June. The committee will run the club, and co-anchor Adam Litwin is on that committee. SAD's advisors are Spanish teachers Gail Peterson and Lois Gangloff. At SAD meetings, upcoming events and fundraisers are discussed. Sometimes a movie is shown pointing out the dangers of drinking and driving. And a discussion is held on ways to combat the problem. Again, SAD's first meeting of the year will take place at night sometime next month. Keep an eye out for the date when it is determined. All students are encouraged to come out and support a fine cause.
This year's homecoming parade is tentatively scheduled for halftime of the annual Thanksgiving Day East-West game. The postponement of the parade and the game is pending on East playoff berth. You may remember that last year's game had to be moved in order to comply with the state's rules on scholastic sports. The game and the parade will most likely have to be postponed. As far as the parade, classes are now in the process of selecting homecoming chairpeople who will be in charge of all aspects of homecoming, from building the float to running the voting for each class's homecoming representative. Each class gets the vote to have one homecoming rep, except the seniors, who get 4. This year's theme is Decades. We'll update you as we have more details. And now for some other sporting news, here's Mike Furman.
Thanks, Adam. The second-ranked Cougar football team rallied to defeat Pennsauken 27-21. Down 21-13, quarterback Kevin Foley threw 2 touchdown passes, one to Chris Dwyer and the other to Scott Peeler, to rally the Cougars. On the day, Foley was 19 for 25 for 224 yards, and he threw 2 touchdown passes. The Cougars are now 5-0. Come out and support the team this Saturday as they play host to Eastern High School at 2 o'clock. The boys' soccer team started off their week by defeating Edgewood 3-0. Goalie Dave Angstreich had the shutout in goal. Their 8-game win streak was snapped, however, when Cinnaminson defeated East 2-0. They then played to a scoreless tie against Washington Township to finish their week. They sport a record of 9-2-2. The girls' soccer team started off their week by defeating Lenape 5-1 as Vanessa Rubio had a hat trick. They then defeated Cherry Hill West 2-1 as coach Tom Troutman tied the South Jersey career record for most wins for girls soccer, notching his 143rd win. Troutman then broke the record as East defeated Washington Township 2-1, giving them their 8th straight Olympic Conference title. The girls have a record of 10-3. The field hockey team, having a good year, tied Camden Catholic 1-1 as Tricia Doyle scored. The team then gave coach Sue Schooley her 100th win of her career as they destroyed Paul VI 6-1. Tricia Doyle had 2 goals for the Lady Cougars, who have a 6-4-4 record. The tennis team defeated Atlantic City 3-2 in the South Jersey Group 4 tournament semifinals. They then lost to Eastern in the finals in an extremely close match 3-2. The boys gymnastics team won their 2nd South Jersey championship, defeating Shawnee 103.1 to 89.4, and they have an 8-0 record. The girls gymnastics team picked up their first win of the season over Cherry Hill West, and you can see this win following the news tonight on Cable 18. Well, that about wraps up the sports, and now back to you guys.
Goodwill bins have been in the communications area since Tuesday. If you have not gotten a chance to donate anything, the bins will also be in place tomorrow. Tomorrow, however, is the final day to make your donation to Goodwill. East is in the Halloween spirit. Much of East is decorated with traditional Halloween garb. The highlight of East's Halloween celebration takes place tomorrow in the second annual Great American Pumpkin Decorating Contest. All students are invited to bring painted, carved, or any other kind of spruced-up jack-o'-lanterns to the SGA office tomorrow morning. Thus far, 2 prizes are being awarded by 2 local businesses for the creators of the best pumpkins. Hello Sports Fans, a sportswear store, is donating a gift certificate, and Laserspin DJ and Party Entertainment will also offer a gift certificate. Good luck to all the participants in the contest. EastCast would like to take this opportunity to wish everybody a safe and happy Halloween. Please be careful out there tomorrow night.
And don't forget your Campbell's soup labels and Acme register tapes. That's all for our special October 30th Halloween edition of EastCast. For my co-anchor, Jeff Pollack, this has been Adam Litwin. Thanks to our cameraman and editor, Mr. Gordon Hampson, and our advisor, Miss Peggy Beck, our student cameraman, Tim Brady, and Tracy Denton. Stay tuned for the East-West Girls Gymnastics, with commentary by Mike Furman and Matt Leschner following the junior high news. As Orson Welles said, goodbye, everybody. And remember, please, for the next day or so, the terrible lesson you learned tonight. That grinning, glowing, globular invader of your living room is an inhabitant of the pumpkin patch. And if your doorbell rings and there's nobody there, that was no Martian. It's Halloween. Tonight, we leave you with Ophelia, who's just in that trick-or-treat mode. Good night, Ophelia.
Good evening and welcome to the West Report. I'm Pam Kelleher.
And I'm Kira Altman. Last Friday and Saturday, October 25th and 26th, West Theater Workshop performed the classic Snow White, which was directed by Miss Celeste McMenamin. The cast of the play included Melissa Connell as Snow White, Karen Weinberg as the Witch, Laurie Melson as the Mirror, Michael Mullen as the Prince, Josh Cohen as Dopey, Cheryl Rock as Sleepy, Amy Zaltzman as Doc, Jeff Rosenbaum as Grumpy, Jason Connell as Sneezy, Tara Ergood as Bashful, Jamie Miller as Happy, Nicole DeGrazia as the Young Princess, Cecilia Byer as the Old Peasant, Ron DeFeo as the Witch. The audience consisted of people of all ages, from the smallest children to great-grandparents. Just a reminder that Theater Workshop will also be sponsoring Mr. West on November 6th and the House of Blue Leaves later this fall.
Last Wednesday, the 23rd of October at 9 a.m., a OH-6 Cayuse Defender arrived here at West on the football field behind the Jones Gym. At 9 a.m. sharp, the junior ROTC classes gathered outside to salute the helicopter upon its arrival. The purpose of the day, for the cadets in full uniform, was to achieve a further concept of what the interior of the helicopter looked like and to talk personally with the pilots. During their scheduled ROTC class, the cadets were permitted to go out on the field and, showing respect to the pilots, patronize them with the utmost manners and interest. At exactly 2:15 p.m., the cadets were again called to the field to salute the OH-6 Cayuse Defender as it left the field to return to the McGuire Air Force Base.
Early this month, Mirage Mahudian was elected freshman class governor. Cable 18 reporter Lindsay Melson spoke with the new governor.
Mirage Mahudian is the new freshman class governor here at West. Welcome, Mirage, to the West Report.
Thank you.
What are your future plans on raising money, and what will the freshman class be using it on?
Well, the future plans to raise money, we're going to try to raise as much money as possible. Our target this year is $2,000, and the money that we raise in our freshman and sophomore years will determine how successful our junior and senior proms will be.
Okay. What made you decide to run for governor, and what qualifications did you look for in Susan Back, your lieutenant governor?
I knew that running for as a governor would be very hard, but I also knew that it would be very fun as well, which is why I wanted to run. And Susan Beck, I picked her because she's a close friend of mine, and I know that she's a very hardworking person, and she would be best fit to do that job as Lieutenant Governor.
Okay. Your brother Majid is governor of the sophomore class. Is he helpful to you?
Yeah, my brother, he gives me a lot of helpful hints. When I was campaigning, he told me where a lot of good places where to put posters, and he's also helping me right now for picking applicants for cabinet members, and all throughout the year, I know he's going to be a big help.
Thank you, Mirage. Good luck to you in the freshman class. Now back to the West Report.
And now with this week's sports, Amy Schneider.
Although the girls' soccer team lost against East and Paul VI last week, they were still able to move on to the state finals on Tuesday, November 5th. Team member Amy Stoner said, "We played a defensive game all year, but we fell short to East." The football team lost an away game at Gloucester Catholic on Saturday, 27-13. They play Camden on November 2nd. The girls' tennis team won a match on Friday, October 25th against Pennsauken, and lost a match against East October 28th. The coach, Dr. Walter Brown, said, "We are in a rebuilding season, and we're just doing the best we can." The girls' gymnastics team lost a meet against Haddon Township on October 25th. The boys won against Haddon Township on the 24th, 78.75-69. The boys' soccer team lost 3 games last week to schools that are all ranked in the top 10. Bishop Eustace 1-0, Washington Township 3-1, and Lenape 3-1. The Lions triumphed over Overbrook last week 3-2. Earlier today, I had the chance to interview Mr. Bill Sleeth, who is coach of the boys' varsity soccer team this year. Welcome to the West Report. Do you feel any pressure in taking over the soccer team from the previous coach, Dr. Kozlov?
I think whenever you take over a program that's been so successful, you do feel a little bit of pressure. And yes, I do. I do. The team has done well in the past. So naturally you want, when you come in, to keep that tradition going.
When you coached at Bishop Eustace, you were named South Jersey Coach of the Year. Was it difficult to come over and start coaching at West?
Oh, a lot of people ask me that, Amy. No, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. I had a great group of players at Bishop Eustace, but I also have a great group of kids here at West. And being in this system, in the school system, having coached here, I coach baseball here. No, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. Of course, I would miss the kids I have coached, but I'm glad to be working here at West.
How would you evaluate this year's season so far?
Well, I think it's been mainly a rebuilding season for this team. We came in with only really one starter, and the rest of the kids are pretty new to playing varsity. So I think I would characterize it as rebuilding, and we've played tough. We've played well. We played a lot of tough teams, a lot of teams in the top 10, and we haven't gotten blown out in any of the games.
Do you see many ways and room for improvement?
Yeah, I think as a team, I think we need a lot of work on our team play. That's my main concern right now.
Well, there are a number of underclassmen on the team. Do you have any projections for the team next year?
Oh, I think we'll continue to improve. I think next year we'll have a very good team. We'll be competitive. And I think the experience that these guys are getting this year, their first experience on the varsity level, I definitely believe that'll carry over to next season.
Thank you for your time today, Mr. Sleeth. And now back to Pam and Kira.
November 4th is SGO's annual fall blood drive. We would like to thank all of those who have pledged to donate blood. If you would like to donate blood, please contact anyone in SGO for a form.
Styrofoam recycling has arrived at West. Don't forget to put your trays in their proper place.
This Halloween, SGO is sponsoring a pumpkin decorating contest during all lunch periods. Vote for your favorite pumpkin by placing a quarter or more in the UNICEF box for the pumpkin of your choice.
Yesterday, October 29th, in the cafeteria, the Spanish Club held its annual Halloween party. The only change this year was that they had invited the Spanish Club from Cherry Hill East. As their special guests, they invited the Ballet des Jeunes Spanish dancers from Perkins Center for the Arts. They performed the flamenco and other Spanish dances. And a special thanks goes to Senora Lopez, who put this Halloween party together.
As the leaves begin to change color and it becomes dark earlier, the Halloween spirit invades West. Mr. Schnell, a social studies teacher here, believes that Halloween is more enjoyable than the many holidays in December due to his liking and collection of over 421 horror flicks, both good and bad. He has brought more than a dozen frightening figures of bats, vampires, and pumpkin heads to share his ghoulish sense of humor with the student body. We would like to thank Mr. Schnell for helping to brighten up the the main office, and helping to spread the Halloween spirit. We'd like to wish all our viewers a safe and happy Halloween. Thank you for watching the West Report. Please join us again next week at this time.
Good night.
Good evening, I'm Brian Kane.
And I'm Aisha Payton.
This is Carusi News.
Our top story this week, the first Carusi Dance and Movie Night of the season. It was held Friday night, October 18th. The theme was a tribute to Dr. Seuss, and the movie was The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Everyone had a great time eating in the cafeteria, talking with friends, and dancing in the gym. It was a great time for all, and I'm sure we'll all be looking forward to the next dance, the holiday social. Hope to see you there.
And we hope to see you November 4th when Carusi will have its first skating party with Beck. This also happens to be Beck's Spirit Week skating party. At this event, we will have food, music, skating, and barrels of fun. Since Beck is our rival, we urge all Carusi students to attend the skating party to show Beck what school spirit means. We hope to see everyone there having a great time. And while we're on the subject of social events, this important reminder: Carusi students may not go to restaurants in the area after dances, skating parties, or other social events without parental supervision. Parents must pick students up after dances as soon as possible. It is extremely important that the parents drive their children to after-school functions. If there are any questions, please contact Mr. Golden at Carusi at 667-1220.
On October 28th, Carusi began lunch tray recycling centers in the cafeteria. The program is run by the Environmental Club to help save our world. The styrofoam will not biodegrade for hundreds of years, so it is very important for all of us to recycle those trays. One of Carusi's new activities this year is the Respect for Drugs program. Mr. Kritz is the director. This is a chance for our Carusi students to learn about drugs and to bring their new knowledge to the elementary students in Cherry Hill. There was a tremendous response from students for this activity, but only 2 students per 8th grade homeroom were chosen to take part. We are learning how to approach the elementary students with the help of some Cherry Hill West students. Also, they learned to play golf. As I sat in one of the meetings, I saw the students were truly interested in this activity.
Right now, we bring you the Carusi Facts of the Week.
Joining us now is Rachel Pasiloff. Rachel?
As everyone knows, there is no school in Cherry Hill on November 7th and 8th. This gives us a chance to have another 4-day weekend. But do we really know why we're going to get these days off? Carusi News correspondent Dan Rosenberg prowled the hallways to try to find the answer.
Do you know why we don't have school November 7th and 8th?
No, I don't.
Do you know why we don't have school November 7th and 8th? All right. We don't have school November 7th and 8th?
No.
Do you know why we don't have school November 7th and 8th? No.
As you can see, most students don't know why we're getting these days off. For the real reason, we go back to Dan Rosenberg and guest Ms. Heineman.
We do not have vacation. We go down to the convention. We have an opportunity to see some guest speakers. We have an opportunity to do some workshops, an opportunity to see what kind of new materials there are that we can use in our classrooms. And it can be a working 2 days if we'd like to have that.
We don't have school November 7th and 8th. Why?
Thank you, Ms. Heineman. Thank you, Dan Rosenberg. I'm Rachel Pasloff, Carusi News. Now back to Brian Kane and Aisha Payton.
Thank you, Rachel.
Once again, Carusi's PTA is sponsoring a book fair which will enable students to enrich their learning experience by purchasing books. Students will preview the books, then return to buy them. The fair will be held November 18th through the 21st. The last chance to buy books will be the November 21st during the enrichment program. Volunteers would be greatly appreciated. And listen to this. On November 14th and 15th, Carusi will be hosting a talent show during enrichment. This will feature dancing, music, and other talents of the student body. The now competitive event should bring enjoyment not only to the talented participants themselves, but also to the audience. Good luck. Aisha?
Mr. Ritchie and the rest of the science department are looking for previously read issues of the following magazines: National Geographic, Time, Audubon, USA Today, World, and 321 Contact. The science department would greatly appreciate it if parents would send the magazines in with their child. Students should then give the magazines to their science teacher when they attend class that day. Also needed by the science department is a used refrigerator in working order. Throughout the course of the year, the science department uses specimens and supplies that need to be refrigerated. If you would be interested in donating such a refrigerator, please contact Mr. Ritchie at 667-1220 during the school day. And now it's time for this week's teacher profile.
For that story, we turn to Carusi News correspondent Alicia Mickle.
His name is Mr. Cooper. His subject is mathematics. Our Carusi News correspondent Julius Cavalli has the story tonight.
There. This is Joyce Cavalli reporting for Carusi News. I'm interviewing Mr. Cooper at Carusi Junior School. Mr. Cooper, how long have you been teaching at Carusi?
Teaching 5 years at Carusi.
How long have you been teaching altogether?
24 years.
What other schools have you taught at?
I taught at Heritage in Cherry Hill, Beck in Cherry Hill, and Monongahela Junior High School in Deptford Township.
So, what was your favorite class this year so far?
You mean by
track?
No, track? Oh, I can't pick one over the other. They're all so good. You would get me in a lot of trouble, sir, if I identified one.
Oh, okay, then what's your worst?
Oh, no, I'm not going to do that either. Once again, if I pick one, then I've insulted 4 others.
Okay. Well, what made you pick Carusi to teach at?
Well, they closed Heritage down. As a matter of fact, it's the central administration building now, due to a lack of students. And I transferred to Beck, and I spent 1 year there. And then in terms of where I live and ease of travel and everything,
Thank you, Julius, and thank you, Mr. Cooper. Throughout the year here on Carusi News, we hope to interview more teachers up close and personal. If anyone has a suggestion on an interview subject or any subject at all about Carusi News, drop your ideas in the Carusi News mailbox in the main office. Alicia Mickle for Carusi News. Brian, Aisha.
Thank you, Alicia. It's been a great fall season for sports so far at Carusi.
We hear more about it in tonight's sports report from Carusi News correspondent Kevin Krutoff.
Carusi's 8th grade soccer team continued their unbeaten streak with a convincing 4-1 defeat of Glens Landing Middle School on Monday. Anthony Michael, his best day so far, scoring 2 goals and stopping a penalty kick as a goalie. Also scoring for Carusi were Mike Shevsky and Nick Sexton. Playing well on offense were Brad Mallon, Bill Foster, Joe Maradino, and the Rook, Dave Schwastik. On defense, John the Rock Holt, Jared Levy, Kevin Krutoff, and Dave Hale kept Glens Landing away from our goal. John Fisher played his also excellent game. Carusi's 7th grade soccer team posted their 11th straight victory on Monday, defeating Glens Landing 3-1 behind Devin Kelly's 2 goals. Eric Hirsch also scored yesterday to cement the victory. The entire team played tough defense. Our three goalies, Matt Fulcher, Doug Clark, and Rob Martinini, played well in goal. Our girls' soccer team ended its season on Monday with a 4-0 loss to Glens Landing. There were great efforts by Peggy Fogg, Olga Morez, Jessica Savage, Kelly Hipp, Julie McNulty, and Dawn Mimes. The 8th grade field hockey squad lost 1-0 to Haddonfield on Monday. Amy Zambetti, Danielle Succi, and Gia Domenico played hard games. On Monday, the 7th grade field hockey team played a tough game against Haddon Heights. Despite strong defense efforts of Gina Hart, Rosie Yo, Nancy Kofferhagen, Jen Dapalone, and Lindsay Winderman, Haddon Heights scored 1 goal. Stacy Cerez, Kathleen Corrigan, Jen Botel, Renee Brustoff, and Cheryl Alexandria played a good defensive game. That's sports for this week. Kevin Krutoff, Carusi News.
Thank you, Kevin. That just about does it for this week's edition of Carusi News. See you again next week.
Special thanks to our Carusi News staff.
Lauren Quattrone,
Jessica Franklin,
Ryan Bogus,
Brandon Klarman,
Dan Rosenberg,
Jamie Green,
John Cohen,
Jarrett Levy,
Julius Cavalli,
Heather McMoney,
Melanie Rose,
and Jen Moose. For all of us here at Carusi News, I'm Aisha Payton.
and I'm Brian Keene.
Good night.